right, so today we're talking about the Neo Experience app and really focusing in on how you can get your borrowers, the consumers you're talking to, into the app, when to inject that into your process. So I'm going to start by just sharing over a slide, going over some of the top use cases we're seeing other customers deal out the app with. Chris, I lost my my Teams window, so would you mind hitting the accept for me?
Yeah, just letting people in. I got
Yep.
I got letting people in. Don't worry about that. Yep.
Awesome, thank you. All right, so for today, we'll just focus up on these top 3 use cases, starting with first-time home buyers. So if you've used the app, you know there's lots of education throughout it. When you're in the credit section, there's tips on how much, like what your utilization ratio should be at for the optimal credit score. So this is an app, you know, when someone comes in your sales funnel, they're asking questions, trying to figure out where they need to start. Send them an invite to the Neo Experience, and I sent a little template ahead of this call that I think might help. It's something that you can just plug in your invite code and your invite link into, copy and paste it into your Notes app on your phone, and just fire this off when you're having a conversation with someone that could benefit from the app. It's very simple. You can obviously edit it as needed. Like if you're sending it to someone who needs to work on credit, you can work in a little blurb on, you know, get this app, use the credit features to figure out how you can get your score up. You can put your own little personal touch on it. But with this invite, this has everything they need to get in the app and get registered. They can, when you plug in your invite code, they can download the app, use that invite code on the second page of the app to tie themselves to you and start the registration process from there. And then you can also include just your invite URL at the bottom of that, in case they want to just, you know, click a link and register on a web page. So this is here. Definitely recommend taking advantage of this just as an easy way to send out an invite. And then the same thing for those not quite ready borrowers. This is where we see the most success, is when you're having that one-on-one conversation with a consumer, and for whatever reason they don't qualify today, whether it's their down payment funds. Hey, here's an app that can benefit you. Set up a goal to track your savings towards this goal. Once you hit it, come on back, and we'll get your application in process. Same with credit. If they've got a low score, use the credit tools, the credit simulator, to see what scenarios might put you into that acceptable range. And then for those people that do come in your sales funnel and they're ready to go, don't get the app in the way. You know, put them into your normal process, your point of sale, get that deal done. And then at the end of the process, once they've closed the loan, let them know they can enroll their property and their mortgage in this app. And then they'll get hello.
Sorry.
They'll get a monthly update on their property value. So just another way to keep that past client engaged. They're going to be getting something from you on a monthly basis. It's a Neo branded email letting them know their property value is updated. And at the bottom, it's got the assigned loan officer's information. So it's going to have your first name, last name, your email address, and a phone number. So there's a piece of communication going out to that borrower once a month.
Hey, Ethan, there's some questions about how they find the code. Or when you could pull up the admin portal, and I wanted to speak to a couple of things that I think Kelly and Eddie are working on.
Absolutely.
So you can always find it by going to the admin portal, which Ethan's about to show. I know Kelly's working on some just from your CRM, just to be able to send out those journeys, and your registration link is plugged in there. In addition, for those of you guys who have your personal pages, I don't know exactly the time frame, but they've already started where your landing page will actually be updated with your ability for the consumers to go and see how they get the app and the code/link to use to register for the app.
Good call out.
So Ethan, this is Craig Snyder. So
Hey,
the
Craig.
code never changes, right? So, because like when I've done it, I've always gone in and entered the person's name and got a code. But if I just save that code once, it's always the same code for every borrower.
That's right.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the
And
code
there's-
and the URL is basically it's the way to tie them to you upon registration. So they're coming into the overall app by using that code and saying, "Hey, I'm actually tied to Craig now."
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
And the way we set up those codes, the codes and link can be used over 1,000 times. So 1,000 consumers can sign up with that code before we either need to create a new one for you, or we can go in and extend that number to 2,000, 3,000, whatever it needs to be.
We got a question from Carrie.
Is the code, would that be the same one that we had with the Neo experience before Matrix?
Yeah,
Yes.
Is it the same?
Yeah, it
Okay.
shouldn't have changed.
Thank you.
And for some people, the code does change, but that's only when you put in a request to our team to update it to a vanity code. So I think I know Linda has one. Her code's Buchanan. So that's just something to think about. If you want a little easier consumer friendly code, you can reach out to our team and we'll get that updated for you. Linda, I see you have a question.
Yeah, I have a quick question. So I have that set up. I totally forgot that I had set it up because I did it a while ago. That's what I'm using forever, obviously, for 1,000 uses. But where is that little blurb that you showed us that had the link, and is that just something that we create and then embed the code? Where do I get the code, the physical code?
So your code is just Buchanan. So what you would do, you would tell someone to download the Neo Experience app,
Okay,
tell them to create an account in the app. The very first screen in that create account process is going to ask them for their invite code. That's where they just enter Buchanan.
Perfect.
And that can be used over and over and over again by 1,000 consumers. So no need about getting a new code for the next consumer.
okay. And then this, just to follow up, so this screen that you're looking at, my name is here somewhere, and then under mobile invite code, my name will show up, right?
Yeah, so here's what I do when I'm looking for a code or a link. I set at the bottom of the page, you can set it to 100 records per page. And then I just do a simple control find. I'll look up Linda here. Here's Linda. She comes up and her invite code is Buchanan.
But
Cool.
Ethan, if the loan officer is logging in with their admin account, they should only see theirs, right?
Today they'll see the whole list. So you do need to expand that out to 100 and do the control find on there.
Got it.
Thank you.
No problem. And then I think some people were saying they didn't get this email, so I'm just gonna paste this in the chat. This is just a quick and easy template that you can plug your invite code on, your invite URL. You can like save it in your notes app on your phone, and then when you do have a conversation with a borrower where they can benefit from the app, it's just a simple copy and paste into your text message, and they're off and running.
We got
Oh,
a question from Pinky and Ty. So Pinky, is Steve top on the screen? You want to go first?
Sure. Thank you. So I have a couple of questions. I've been trying really hard to use this technology. The couple of things the code thing has really confused me for some reason. I thought if I gave my personal link, that was all I need to give, but I do need to give that plus the code always, correct?
No,
it's an
you
either
can give
or.
either or.
It
It's
is
an
either
optional
or.
thing. It's they're either going to go down the web registration where they don't need to remember a code and they register on web. So the pro is that's easier, but the what you'll want to reinforce if you're doing it that way is if they're wanting to use their mobile device to download the app. they can still log in on the web mobile, but the experience is not as good as using the app, like most things where you're, there's an app for it. Or you say, hey, go download the Neo experience, and then you give the code. So it's an either or, it's not an and.
Okay, I'm gonna put into the chat what I'm sending people, and if you could just confirm, I guess, because I don't get a lot of people sign up. Let me add that to the mix, right? So that's why I'm wondering if I'm doing something, and I think I sell it well, right, as far as what the benefits are, but I don't see people actually coming through and and I think I get those notices, right, from Fint that says someone's created an account. I don't see a ton of those, so that's why I'm wondering what I'm doing wrong in implementation. That I just put into the chat the link that I sent to folks with it. So if you can tell me if I should be doing more with it or not, that would be helpful.
For sure. I'll review while Ethan's going through, but just a quick question. For those people that you're sending the invite to, is it completely cold? Have you had a conversation with them?
Oh, it's always after a conversation.
Okay. All right.
It's always after a consultation of some sort where it says it's either they closed and I said, okay, make sure you download this, is going to help you. Or at the beginning, we're having a consultation and I say, okay, I've got a tool to help you figure out how to work on your savings, whatever. So I tell them the benefits before I send it to them usually.
Yeah, the link you sent is your registration link, and that has the overall kind of high level benefits on it. The only thing I would recommend is, and you might already be doing this, but as you're having those conversations, especially those people that you're consulting with and they're not ready to apply or whatever, and there's a use case for this app, is really focusing in on the benefits of the certain features of the app, as opposed to it does all 20 of these things. Sometimes what we've seen is it's higher adoption when you can speak to the widget or a couple of widgets that actually really will help their particular situation.
Okay, I mean, I think I do, but I'll keep working on that. But I'm sorry, you said this is the right one for them to get the app, or no?
This is the
Like
right
if they
one.
open this on their phone?
So yeah, let me, Ethan, can you click that link and pull it up? This might be good for everybody to see. So what Pinky sent over is everyone will have this web registration link. The URL up there is unique to Pinky, but this landing page is the same. So this gives kind of, hey, register now, that will tie to Pinky, but overall this is saying benefits to the app. Now, what I was saying earlier is this is a web registration, right? So if someone is on their phone and they register, if you can just scroll down to the bottom, after the fact, they'll download the app on the Apple and Google Play Store. But if someone is mobile first, even though you have to remember the code, they're already in the app and they don't have to remember that step.
Oh, I see. So what do I tell them to download the app then?
Just say down. So Ethan had put in the chat here, download the Neo Experience app, and it gives links to the app. And then you put in your code under what code to use on invitation.
Okay, I will try that out because what I'm doing here isn't working. So I'll give that a shot then and see if that works better. Thank you.
The reason why I say just trying to, I know I'm over explaining on this, but the desktop, if you're on your desktop, if someone's on their desktop, the web is there, but we know that a lot of people are on their phones. And if they complete the registration, we'll take them on their phone to the web version of their phone. It's good and all the functionality is there, but it's not as good of an experience as the app. So first impressions are, kind of make.
Absolutely. No, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, thank you. And then how do I log in to see like my stuff of who's actually signed up, who's using what?
My water?
So you'll go into the admin portal. I'll put the link here. If you don't have your credentials, so you should have gotten credentials to log in here.
That's Locker.
It's here, this one here, and then you'll put your username and password and company code of Neo. If you don't remember your password, you can go the forgot password route, or if you need us to, we can reset your password and you'll get a one-time password, and then it'll prompt you to update it.
Got it. Okay, thank you. I'll take a look through. I'll let you know if I have more questions, if I can get it or not. Thank you so much.
Well, I see, Ty, you got your hand up. Or come on.
Yeah, and I don't know.
You leave it open. How are you doing? Board?
Once you have a minute, I want you to go over my cover letters.
If is Eddie and Kelly on here?
I'm on here.
This seems to be like an extra step that we have to do. Is this something that we can be sending out through Automator and ADM, where like if you have a file in process and Encompass is feeding into ADM, why are we not sending an invite out through our CRM to this app?
Well, that's Kelly's creating that Neo Experience campaign. So once that's ready to go, then that will trigger this to the clients so that they can enroll into the Neo Experience.
Signed job offer
So that is
letter
something that's going to be in the works.
Correct. Yeah.
We're going to invite this
Yep.
because it would be good for, especially for client retention purposes. I mean,
Also,
basically you have a walking pre-approval with the borrower that downloads this.
Yeah. Ideally, we're going to send this invite out on the campaign after you do like the dreams and goals call. So it's in the
Okay.
very initial stages of the process. Not
Okay.
necessarily, we actually want them engaged even prior to them getting into contract.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good call out. And especially the ones that don't make it into Encompass or into your POS, those are the ones that could probably benefit from the app the most. So you want to make sure you're getting them in the app too. Were there any other questions? Linda, is there a way that we download the app and share with a client? Not directly from the app. I would just provide them with those download links, send them the Apple and Android download links. So, no matter what device they have, they can access it, and then tell them enter Buchanan at registration. I think that's going to be your smoothest route.
But if we are sending it to them, I mean, I have it on my desktop, but if we're sending a link to the customer from our mobile to their mobile, where do I get that link? Like, where can I save that link? That's what I was wondering if we have the app, we can just forward it, which we can't, but how do I get that link on my mobile phone?
So are you typically communicating with your borrowers via text?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Send me, I'll get your phone number after this. I'll text you a template you can use, and you can just copy
Okay.
that to the notes on your phone.
Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yep.
That works.
Can you send that out to everybody?
Whoever sends me their phone number, I'm happy to do it.
All right. Where do you want us to send it to, Ethan?
I'll put my email in the chat.
And we also ask you for the request for the vanity.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Just on the vanity, to reiterate, it has to be 8 digits. So it can be alphanumeric 8 digits, but 8 digits is the key. It's not case sensitive, but has to be 8 digits.
So I have a couple other things prepared I wanted to go over. We went over the resource center a little bit on our last call, but we didn't really dive into anything here. So one of the other successes we have been seeing in the last few months is on social media. So on this resource center, it's about 3/4 down. We have these social media playbooks. There's a range of simple images and captions that you can post on Facebook, Instagram, wherever you're posting, all the way down to ideas for like TikTok videos or Instagram reel videos where you're doing a green screen in front of a graph or a house listing and talking about that. So good ideas on how to start spreading the word on social media. And I'll just show a couple slides from one of these. This one is the social media playbook for first-time home buyers. So it's got the first few slides are a market overview of where first-time home buyers sit, average age, and then some ideas on how you can start promoting on social. So Instagram stories, TikTok, ideas, 5 tips for first-time home buyers to prepare to buy a home. That's a easy one you could find on Google. Write up a script real quick, and then connect it to the app at the end. Use code. We'll pick on Linda today. Use code Buchanan in the App Store to register for your Neo app. We've seen pretty good sign-up rates from that. some more TikTok examples. And then simple ones, just posting a few graphics along with a caption on Instagram or Facebook that ends with a call to action to download the app. And then we see a mix. I think most people, they, just post it to their following, but we do see with a couple clients, they'll put paid advertising behind a social post, and it just, keeps the traction going longer, gets it in front of more eyes. And then just for some ideas, you can do posts on credit, financial education, managing your financial accounts. Another good one that we've seen is you can also access this from the resource center, but there's these product highlights. They're just features from the app. These are unbranded videos, so they're not Neo Experience branded, but they're not FinLocker branded or any other brand either. But we've seen clients download one of these feature videos and do like a green screen with their face in front of it, just talking about, where they see the value in the tool, and then plugging in their invite code and where to go to download their app. My internet's a little slow, so I won't be able to play one, but you can see we've got them all the way from the credit tools, just the overall credit health widget, to homeownership snapshot. That's where they're getting those 4 stars. If they don't have 4 stars, they've got that custom action plan to guide them to different areas of the app. And I think we've got one on just about every section of the app now. And then I also sent this earlier, but I'm going to drop it in the chat again in case anyone didn't get it. But we created a Neo Experience app overview video. I think we created it a couple of weeks ago now, but you all are welcome to use this. You can include it with, when you're sending that templated invite to your clients, you can upload it to YouTube, send them a link. It's a quick 1.5 minute video, just overviewing the app, the key features in the app, how they can use it to prepare for their journey, no matter where they are. We've only got another 5 minutes, and we were getting a lot of questions earlier. So are there any other questions we can answer while we've got time? Pinky?
You can always count on me for questions.
Love it.
The credit part of it, does it actually pull their credit score? Like, or is it a hard hit? So that I know how to explain it to folks? How does that part work?
Yeah, it's a soft credit pull. So it's not, it's not going to go down as an inquiry on their credit report, no impact to their score.
Okay.
But it is like the same score they would get in Credit Karma, where it's the consumer score, the Vantage score.
So not what we see then. Okay.
Correct.
That's good to know.
As you're talking to your clients about it, some of the benefits is they're going to get weekly updates on their credit score, and they'll be alerted if, like, say there's a credit inquiry or credit alert, like a late payment or something like that. So they're instantly alerted on that. And in addition, they can use the tools in there that a lot of other apps or places like the bank apps and stuff don't have, like the credit simulator and Credit Compass, where they can actually play with scenarios on how what might affect their credit card. So if they open an auto loan or they pay down a credit card or things like that.
Thank you. You actually answered the question I was wondering about, why this versus, because there's so many sites now that give you credit monitoring, right? So the benefit is the simulator and the ability to do that, right?
Yeah, that's benefit. And the other added benefit is FinLocker doesn't sell data or solicit. So when you're going to Credit Karma or Mint or whatever and doing that, your data is getting sold and you're getting advertised to. This app does not do that. It's a one-on-one relationship with you as a loan officer and the client.
Okay, thank you.
This is.
And the credit report
crazy.
we pull, by the way, wouldn't go in, right? So if we pull a credit report in Encompass, it can't tie to this at all.
That's correct. At this point in time, who knows where we go in the future, but right now it's just the TransUnion Vantage score.
Yep. Okay, great. Thank you.
My wife spends way too much money.
Relate to that.
Yeah, Ethan, quick question. Within the Neo Experience app, so once somebody's downloaded it, is FinLocker along with HomeBot and all the other things that encompass the Neo Experience, is that all there, or is it different apps? Like, how does that all come together on the client interface?
Good question. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, sorry, Keith, go ahead.
So HomeBot is not connected in the app. There are, we do have customizations for Neo. So HomeBinder is in the app. It's under the property section. And then what are the other ones? Is it Updater and one other
Revive
we've got?
and HomeBinder, Revive, and Updater are in there. They're in there. There's little widgets within the app that can link to those various functions.
Got it. Okay. So HomeBot is the only one that's outside of it?
That's correct. Yeah, and that
Okay.
won't be changing anytime soon.
All right, cool.
And then Pinky, I saw you ask for some demo accounts. I just put some credentials in the chat. You're welcome to use. It's just got some test data in there. You manually add assets and accounts that are not linking. You can add the value. Let me show an example. It's in the net worth section. So once you click into there, there's a section where I think it says accounts reported. So that's anything that's linked via the account section or credit report will auto pull in. And then there's a self-reported section where you can just manually add a value, whether it's a checking, savings, crypto account that can't be linked. You can manually add it in there. And if my internet speeds up, I'll show you an example. Any other questions for us?
I have a question regarding the TransUnion credit report. Initially, or at least last summer, when people were logging on, if they chose not to have that credit monitoring, it was like a hard stop and was a problem. I've got a number of clients. I mean, is that still the case that they have to allow that?
No.
They don't have to
I think-
enroll. Yeah.
Okay.
I think
And
they.
then-
Oh, sorry.
ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, and then for clients that have their credit reports frozen, is that still a hard, so you guys can't monitor it on TransUnion if it's frozen, or is it a different kind of pull?
If they've enrolled and they freeze it, you'll still get updates. If it's frozen though, well, at the time they try to enroll, it will block them, but they can unfreeze, enroll, and then freeze it back, and it will still keep the updates going. But they can't. They have to. TransUnion will not authorize the enrollment process if the credit's frozen.
Okay, and it's obviously they would only need to unfreeze TransUnion, wouldn't have to be all three.
Correct. Yes.
Right.
Okay.
And circling
you.
back to your first point, I think you were talking about the readiness assessment. You had to have credit enrolled in order to run it. That is no longer the case. You can now either pull in the score and credit data if you have it linked, or you can just manually type in a number. So yeah, there's no tools they can't use without enrolling the credit or accounts.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
I had a question.
Ethan, are you with Finlock? Oh, go ahead. Sorry for interrupting.
You're fine. So on the LO side, on the LO page, it doesn't show very much info. And so I guess my question is, like I put myself in just as a test, and I haven't even run my credit or anything, and it says credit range pass. But it doesn't give any like really useful info to me as an LO looking at it. Are we going to get alerts when they access it, or like if their credit goes above a certain threshold, will we get an alert saying, hey, this person's credit just went above 620? Now they can can potentially qualify. I mean, it's the wrong model, but what's the back and forth communication there? And from the LO side, like what can we access to see what they're doing? Or if a client is in there, how do we know that, hey, I should probably be reaching out to this client now and call them based on the information that this is reporting back to me?
So a couple things on that. One is like when you mentioned the pass, like that's probably, you said you did yourself, that's you running the readiness and self-inputting your credit score. If you have people who have enrolled credit and agreed to share data, you'll see their current credit score within a 10-point band, their previous credit score, and whether it's gone up or down from the previous run. You can see their property value if they've enrolled a property. You can see how many accounts they've enrolled. Going to your, so I would say is if you're testing with yourself, try enrolling in more of the widgets and share data and then see what you see there. And Ethan can show an example here. Where we are going, it's not there yet, but we are going to, so right now you get an alert when someone signs up or when someone shares at the end of the process, like they want to share how much is in their bank accounts and the VOA report and any file documents they want to transfer over to you. You'll get an alert there. Where we're going is we're going to start alerting like when someone hits a certain credit score or when they've ran readiness and they've gotten all 4 stars, we can get alerts you on that. Or when they've said they're ready and their journey tag. Those are the type of things that are coming. We're working on. It's not there yet. The other side is I'm just talking about, hey, your own consumer account. Go into readiness and click the button share with lender. And you'll see that you'll get an instant email and it'll have actually in the readiness the amounts that are within each one of the categories. So is Ethan showing on the screen where it says homeownership snapshot and you see those 3 runs with the passes and fails? That will actually, if they share with you on that side, you'd get an email and it actually should say the amounts. Like what did they put in for price? How much do they have for cash to close? What is their income? That kind of stuff. So that's where you want to start encouraging and teaching with your client base. Like this can be very helpful if you start sharing some of that information with me, because at the end of the day, we're going to do more alerts and more data, but we are still a consumer permissioned app.
Cool, thank you.
Ethan, is there going to be more updates to the app? Like a couple weeks ago, I asked if we could put in more than one property in here. I mean, because this would be a good tool for anybody just tracking their own personal net worth, etc.
Yeah, I'll take that just because I'm really involved in a lot of the stuff of what's coming. And this is Chris. I'm with FinLocker. So yes, there is more stuff coming as far as the dual properties. That's on a roadmap. We don't have a date for that yet. What is coming in the immediate future is actually later this month in mobile, we're going to be re-architecting the dashboard. So the performance is going to increase, but what it's going to allow us to do is start personalizing. You'll see this over time, but start personalizing the dashboard experience for a consumer on what they're trying to achieve and why they're there and where they're at on their journey status. So for example, somebody who's ready might get served up property search or net worth. If someone owns a property, might get served up net worth first versus somebody who's trying to get ready will be snapshot and credit and those type of things. So that's one thing that's coming in the near future. The other thing that's coming next month that's big is the ability to co-brand with an agent within the app. So as we were talking about codes earlier and stuff, like Linda, I'll use Linda as an example. She has an easy mobile code, Buchanan. She can then go set up, if I was her agent, she could go set up a separate code for me to give out to me, and then I can start passing out as the agent to my clients. And when those consumers come into the app, they're going to see me as the agent, and they're going to see Linda as a loan officer, and Linda's going to be able to tell me what's going on with my consumer base that's coming in.
On a FinLocker call, but I'll check it out. Okay. Come chat with you.
So if you guys, if there's any questions, you guys have ideas and feedback, that we're going to be doing these weekly for these little check-ins, but we love the feedback and what would be cool in the app. Can't promise we're going to get everything in tomorrow or whatever, but we love the ideas, and if you have questions on what's coming, we're always happy to share. The unauthorized access in the LO portal. So basically the first 3 tabs on the left-hand side are what you have access to. The other tabs are more for admin functionality. So someone like Eddie, who can go in and create users or update themes, that kind of thing. All those other tabs are really not relevant unless have the admin privileges, because they're all just about overall management of the instance of the app, not your personal stuff.
Be nice if we could control our own in-app notifications and stuff. I mean,
100%. Oh, well, that's where we're trying to get to. So what you'll see is that first, like, notifications will probably be still a little bit more like template style, like someone ran readiness and they got 3 or 4 stars. But then what we're ultimately aspirations are to get to is to where you can control, toggle on and off what's important to you as a loan officer to see. But there's a lot of work wrapped up in that. So you'll see that progress over the course of this year and into next year.
All right. If there's no more questions, we'll call it for this week. You all should have our contact information. You can contact me or Chris directly, or the customer success and at FinLocker inbox. Any questions, any code update requests, issues, whatever it is, feel free to reach out. Or you can save questions for next week. We'll be back here at the same time. Thanks everybody for joining.
Thanks, Ethan. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
thank you.
So